2019 first season of Contenders, next time that this squad would be back on the stage.
I mean, they have the Academy team plot armor, so to speak, so they're going to be around.
Yeah.
But what a rough start for, you know, Seoul Dynasty had a rough Overwatch League Season 1. Their Academy team not even making playoffs here would be another one of those sad and disappointing stories. When you looked at the roster, you knew it's mostly a set of rookies. Didn't expect them to tear it up or win the season or anything like that. But they were just so close to playoffs, and to lose it here would just feel so awful.
It's going to be a scouting report coming through for Stalker, but you can already see the swaps out onto the Rhine, onto the Brig. So here's the 3-3.
Matched compositions here. So we get to see what we haven't seen since round 1 on Lijiang now, is the straight-up mirror matchup.
Shubil taking that fire strike to the face. Guys are going to be saying thank you very much for the charge. I'm saying right now, not really able to find much of anything in that regard. Do they want to go to the left side or the right? Like this be straight to the center. Or actually, it's going to be back towards the spawn right now. They need to get the heck out of there. Umte instantly gets popped. Stuck his head out just a little bit too much.
Yeah, we're just seeing Proper try to grab a little bit more ult charge, and then they're going to back away back to the choke. Nicely done here by Kaiser, grabbing a bunch of extra ult charge, as mentioned. Just left clicking here blind.
Fire strike this time from Kaiser, not going to find anything. He'll get pinned. Overpack comes through to help keep him alive. Seems like it's going to be working a treat, because now Agnes and Umte are both gone. Shubil will get popped out of the mech, and maybe even staggered out a bit.
It's kind of a funny tug of war that can happen when you have these Rhines that take a ton of damage, but they get that armor pack and back away. We saw that, you know, totally different styles from Delight yesterday versus Alpha Yi on the Brigida. Remember Delight playing the much more aggressive style, Alpha Yi playing more passive for Ion. We're seeing that passive style here for Kaiser. Just keep him alive until you can turn the fight.
Shatter going to be online. Umte nearly with one of his own. Graviton Surge. Ready to go. Proper just waiting for an opportunity. Shatter opens things. Kaiser locking him down, and Agnes gets dropped. Now Shubil out of the mech. Umte trying desperately to stay alive, but will be unable to do so. Proper just going to be scooping up the double kill here. Pop out into the pilot kill. Wrap up over the top phase. Looking for a target. Will be able to find Tins. They take him down.
Silligan's the only one to die, but he does his job, and everyone keeps the armor. So no other ults used here. Insanely efficient defense for StormQuake. They can come back with another grab setup. I mean, sure that Kaiser's Shatter wasn't the, you know, the massive one they were hoping for, but good enough here.
It still worked.
It works.
Bubble already going to be gone. That's going to be the grab thrown down right on top of him. Sound barriers in. Bomb hitting the floor. That's going to be Stalker gone. Umte pinned by Kaiser and eliminated. Shubil nearly knocked out of the mech again for that further stagger. Proper right up in front of the spawn here.
Really
looking for it.
Nice delayed self-destruct from FaZe as well. Still doesn't have that Transcendence, so you know, just wasn't going to be the answer to that anyways. And look at this, 50% to another grab ready here at 98 energy.
Gen.G might just have to throw everything at this point. Shatter comes down, unable to find a kill. Astro just going to be popping that Transcendence, and so far everybody from StormQuake still looking quite good. Graviton Surge going to be coming in from Stalker, trying to lock them up. Proper will get popped. Kaiser now getting dropped. Gen.G makes their way in onto the point, but they have to get this ticket. They have to get it fast. Trying to get this cap here on the point, but only bump them up to 4.5 minutes. They finally are able to get rid of Amy. Fulgen's going to be around the back of the point to delay a little bit further, but this cap will finally come through. Gen.G, the hope of a snowball, pretty much non-existent though.
Yeah, they had to use everything to grab this, so it's almost impossible that we see the double come through here, especially with no support ultimates to give a grab over to Stalker. So we're just going to see this slow high ground push, try to get a collapse in onto the point and get as much ult charge as they can. And they're actually going to go through to the center here. Notice the positioning here of Amy.
Stalker stunned up, Bubble comes in, drops down. Barely managing to stay alive. Agnes, however, will be taken down at the end, so Gen.G gonna have to reset, especially after the loss of both of their supports here.
That's a DMAC onto FaZe, but
they'll just go off the side of the map.
Yep. Totally fine. Might have been a worse situation on a map like Horizon on B, or better yet, even Anubis. But here, it's just super easy. Jump off the side and get the reset. Gen.G's got more tools now, though. That push was successful in terms of ult builds. Their biggest opponent here is going to be Lastro and shutting down the grab that they will build on this attack. And they've got their own support ultimate, so if they can somehow bait the trance first, I think that's their best bet at getting this cap here on this push specifically.
Pin not going to find anything.
He wanted Lastro, but he doesn't get him.
Yeah, I think he wanted to go all the way down that staircase by himself. Shubil just going to get popped out of the mech, and that's going to be the reset call from Gen.G. Already a lot of time drained away from the clock.
Yep. You know, Lastro just runs down the staircase, avoids the charge, everything's fine. I mean, the Zen is always going to be up on the high ground, then bounce down the stairs or jump off and then do that range damage. Gen.G has the big six. I mean, this is the push to win off of. The problem is that StormQuake has all the answers. And still, it's somehow either going to be that pick on the Lastro, which is so difficult to do, or a shatter onto him, some way to shut down that trance, or he's going to basically make this push inefficient despite 6 ultimates available. Look at the movement here to get away. Lastro is so safe back in the back line.
And rally coming down, the shatter hits from Umte, but just completely whips. Absolutely abysmal in that regard. Now it's going to be Graviton searches in, bomb thrown down by Shubil. He looks for a pick. Faye's going to be waiting. Proper will be taken out. Gen.G find one, but they need so much more. Levels going to be shattered right here into the front. Agnes taken down. Levels trying to stay alive. Sound barrier will come out, catches everybody else on his squad and try to elongate the fight. Proper swap over onto the Tracer. Going to be trying to melt people down. Levels going to be taken out. Push over into the back, finds Dunce. Gonna get rid of that armor, will be able to do so here with the next reload. We take him out. Gen.G gonna be routed yet again. Have not been able to get a tick on this point. Now gonna be just a minute and 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes already having been drained off of the clock. And they're still staggering Shubil.
Yep, and we're gonna see Proper just go ahead and swap back over to the Zarya. Lost some ult charge obviously from this, but Gen.G, they've really only got one last shot at this, and Lastro is going to have the trance if he can line up just one right click. So stock grabbing the grab is actually insignificant. It's going to have to be a better, longer fight with Dunce having his translator. I mean, I'm talking about a lot of ifs here. Like, I'm making up a story about how this works out for Gen.G, but, you know, it's going to have to be perfect execution of this, and even perfect might not be good enough.
Pushing up, grab online, Stalker. Needs some energy though. Push back down the staircase again. This time no shatter available for Umte. Stalker right now is going to be holding on to it. He has not been able to get any energy. Finally has a little bit coming through. The shatters out from Kaiser, and Agnes will get taken down. Grab over to the side, locking up a few. Bomb coming down, Faye's looking for a pick, and he gets levels again, time and time again, with that self-destruct. Finds the kill onto the enemy, Lucio, and now it's going to be cleanup here for StormQuake. 10 seconds remaining, Dunce around the back. Faye's now going to be jetting forward, looking to finish him off.
They actually stagger him a little bit as well.
And they will seal the deal. No way to tag this one in. Agnes just now getting inside the building. Just going to be the 1.0 ticks on B for Gen.G.
Lastro's positioning was super good for every single one of those pushes. And what's interesting is StormQuake did something a little bit different. Most teams in Korea would not allow a team like StormQuake to walk down the staircase and get to the back of the point, but StormQuake was willing to let them do it every time. Just backed away, moved onto the point themselves, and then said, yeah, come down the stairs. I've already got everything focused on that choke that you've just created for yourselves at the bottom of the stairs. And that's where, you know, Lastro was getting most of his ult charge, was just across the point itself, hitting those members that would come out of the staircase and around to the left side there from his perspective. And, you know, he had those trances ready for basically every grab that Stalker could have thrown at them. So it's going to have to be a really good defense here for Gen.G. And for the outset of this, showing Umte now on the Winston rather than the Reinhardt. So that's a big test for this guy, because they can literally lose the series off of this risk.
I've seen a lot of people try to go for the Winston. Seems like he's maybe expecting some more DPS coming in, so he wants to be able to jump in on top in case they're going to be running that quad, try to disrupt, the Soldier 76, the Hanzo or Widowmaker, whichever they have.
It's safer in a lot of ways in terms of composition. I completely agree with you in that, and it's got a lot more mobility. But in terms of raw damage output and sustain and the counter charge potential against Kaiser's Ryan, like, he's not going to have any of that. So
nothing to deny shatters, Well, StormQuake not going to be messing around with any of that DPS stuff. At least not yet. Still just going to be the 3-3. Going to be a left side approach. They try to push their way up the high ground. Gen.G going to be moving their way back over towards the point. Now pushing forward. They saw that they had actually forced Umte back out towards their own spawn. So just go ahead, shift back in. First tick nearly going to be gained. Sugen moving that shift back, forcing Stalker out of position, swinging away, stun in onto Shoebill. Mech Weekend, that final shift will go ahead and pop him out. One tick gain, looking for a little bit more. Umte cannot leap to safety, will be taken down. And it is going to be a slaughter in favor of StormQuake, only losing out on Lastro, who is still competitive with Dunce here as far as charge is concerned. They get rid of levels, that'll be the cap. 7 minutes is what they have to hold him off for.
Looks like we're going to see
scooping him up,
speed boost him over.
Yeah,
so he doesn't get split spawn. But I was going to say the big issue here was that they gave control of the point up to the Rhine team. When they're running Winston, you have to be trying to dive the backline with the Winston or threatening the supports at least to make it so they can't just walk onto the point. The sustain is way better for the Rhine comp if they get on top of that.
Looking for the boop. They do force a few down onto the low ground. The rest of the squad trying to join in. StormQuake just going to be moving their way back up here towards the ledge. Levels is behind them. He's waiting against the triple. That's what I'm talking about.
That's huge. Unfortunately, we missed that, in the first-person view, but that's a sneaky move. We're seeing a lot of these big plays from the Lucio.
I saw it. I preempted it.
Well, I mean, the observer missed it, is what I mean to say. But, I love to see these plays on the Lucio on B of Hanamura because you can knock people off the high ground. You can look for the sweep around, get the triple kill, right-click. But they are going to have both support ultimates for this push, so Gen.G should be able to hold this in theory. I love the split away here from FaZe, just tracking the movement. Umte still sticking with this Winston.
Yeah, push up to the high ground, does have that primal rage available, actually pops it immediately. Just trying to spread out the members of StormQuake, cause some confusion here. Shatter will be coming down, Umte going low. Getting to stay alive for now. Graviton Surge going to be coming in. That's pushing forward, has that Transcendence as Lastro pops his own grab to respond. Locking up the members of StormQuake into the Lantern, bombs out. FaZe finds one, Shoebill, nil. Can't get anything. Umte now going to be focus fired.
100 energy.
Finding that hit. Yeah, 100 energy, as you say, from Proper. Pushing forward, looking for the finish on the Stalker. The bubble expires. Proper does take him down, burns his way through that enemy Zenyatta. Shoebill going to be eliminated. The single tick will come through, and there you have it. StormQuake, they take the series, and they deny the hopes of Gen.G and their fans from seeing them in the playoffs.
We didn't get to see any of Umte's Reinhardt on the defense. We didn't get to see any real mirroring or challenging of StormQuake's composition here outside of the very first round of Lijiang. And that tells me that Gen.G did not feel confident they could win the mirror. They did not feel comfortable that they could stand up to StormQuake with their new tank player Umte and win out a standard matchup. They tried to go around that. They tried to rethink it and honestly break the meta in a few ways, trying to run the Stalker McCree there on Numbani, picking Numbani in general against StormQuake when you know they've got the better Pharah, you know they've got the better Gen.G. This was a decision, strategic decision made by the coach that did not work out at all, unfortunately. And even there on the defense with the Umte Winston rather than Rhine, they gave control of the point of A away to the enemy Reinhardt team, which is obviously going to function better when it's entrenched and anchored on a point like that. And so there clearly wasn't that much time invested in this specific strategy, because if you scrimmed it a lot, it would be very easy to know that that was going to be the way that, you know, you're going to lose that point. I have to feel a little bit disappointed with the end of Gen.G here, because I don't feel, and I think a lot of people will agree, I don't feel they played to their best Overwatch they could have played tonight. But that's it, man. Panthera's going to playoffs, and they're not. And that's the end of the story. Well, I guess we have one more map. The epilogue is still forthcoming.
Yeah. But even then, getting a win, bittersweet. Getting taken down 4-0. A very rough feeling. So not a happy ending at all for Gen.G, no matter what the outcome is when we get ready to move over to Escort. But odd decision making. Overall, I think just, you know, especially with the Winston on defense.
It can work, it's just you can't do it that way. You have to wait until they try to get on the point and threaten the supports, force Kaiser off the point. You know, there's ways to use the Winston's mobility advantage. That was a big whiff, unfortunately, for him to on the Shatter. The
Shatter onto the high ground instead of dropping down on the actual point. And, I mean, unfortunately, the only time that things looked good was the triple kill boop from Levels.
Yeah.
Everything else was... well, it was just a bit unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, gonna watch it all happen in slow motion here again as FaZe gets the self-destruct kill. You know, this is the saddest fourth map you will ever play. The music is the same hype music. We have the same map talks on the English desk as we have on the Korean commentary desk. What map will it be? What will they do? But for those 6 players, and even for Luke, who sits on the bench, you know that your season is over, and this is going to be the last time you play on stage for a while.
Yep. Unfortunate, but let's go ahead, not waste any time, just jump right back in, figure out what the final map is going to be, and it is Route 66. So maybe just looking to have some fun. Maybe they have something in mind to go against the potential quad DPS from StormQuake, but either way, Gen.G will be bringing us here.
It's been a very, very testing and trialing season for the, you know, I believe it was 9 Premier title StarCraft 2 champion MMA. He made some tough, very aggressive decisions strategically tonight. They do not pay off. Route 66, like you say, could be the fun one. But I would love to see StormQuake just pull out the triple or quad DPS here, play to that strength that they have. And, you know, we talked about at the beginning of the series, it's going to be a tough one for Gen.G to win. I think that's going to hold true still. But it might be fun to watch.
Well, we'll be StormQuake first on the attack, so let's see what they decide to piece together. I think it would be an absolute shame if they decide not to go for the quad DPS, and we'll have to have a stern talking with Kaiser if that does happen.
A lot of teams are starting to figure out how to play that right now. It's like slowly starting to become a little bit more common. And we know a lot of teams are scrimming it in Korea as well. So I guess the main reason why you wouldn't do it as StormQuake in this case is to not give more info for playoffs. Well,
you're gonna wall,
having fun.
The wall hook. Interesting. Or hook somebody for
well,
then
you know, if they go for triple DPS like range like this.
Okay, look, maybe Stalker is pretty good at McCreary, but he's a god at landing those right clicks on May.
Well, I'm hoping so.
Either way,
scouted
will be that quad DPS. FaZe not going to be on the soldier. Connected there for a moment. Stalker's like, it's okay, guys, I got us protected. The wall's up.
Let's not go out. Let's stay in here where it's safe.
The introverted May. Nice block up into the front to block a little bit more. Another wall. I mean, they're keeping it contested, actually.
Yeah, the cart can't be moved.
This is actually hilarious.
It's actually kind of cool, because if you try to get in there and commit, you're going to get hooked. This is actually really cool.
This is the cheesiest thing I have actually seen in so
really
long.
Sick. So they're going to have to get flanked. Now FaZe is behind them.
Yeah, he's pushing his way in. Barrage going to be ready. I mean, proper. Can he just nail them with this? All right, Coalescence going to be opening up things. Didn't will be able to find some Gen Stalker gone. That's going to be the barrage coming through, and oh, it all comes tumbling down.
That's a really cool strategy, though, that we saw from Gen.G, because you could contest while the ice wall is up. To commit into the front means you're going to be going into Moira healing, so it's tough to break through that Roadhog, who's got the hook and the self-heals. And you've got I believe they're running Ana with that as well, right? So you have the bio grenade on top of it all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a cool strat. Like, I don't know if we'll ever see that again, but I hope so. Maybe.
The thing is, like, even if the May didn't get picked off and they kept trying to go for that, I feel like it all would have crumbled eventually with FaZe here. Because the one pulse bomb, while everyone's grouped up like that, you're not going to kill the Orisa, you're probably not going to kill the May or the Hog, but you can definitely get the supports. Speaking of which, it's going to be taken down. Laster also pops Shubil out with that Dragon Strike. And it's just looking like another team wipe getting ready to come through. Stalker doing what he can. But unfortunately, it's not a whole lot. Pile driver through, trying to pick up that Mega Pack, but FaZe actually stealing it away. No. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I mean, the sandwich there is always going to get you eventually, and as we saw, it did. Pulse bomb or no, FaZe still holding this one at the moment, and StormQuake is just rolling forward. Gen.G is trying to counter this with their own Widow. It's Agnes on the Widow with Stalker actually playing the Sombra again, funny as it is. So Umte eats half his health bar here in arrows.
Push up onto the high ground again. Umte's gonna have to peel back, taking way too much damage. Lastro, awkward position, but has the pocket coming from Amy, so we'll be okay. Storm arrows looking for a finish there on the Dunce. Almost has that shot, but can't quite line it up. Dragon Strike getting ready to come through. Tracking him as best as possible. Will be cruising through, doesn't find any kills. Proper taken down by Shubil. But Lastro pushes up over the top, gets rid of Stalker, but now Amy will be eliminated, so no supports available here for StormQuake. Proper will be changing up over onto the Zarya. Kaiser dumping in the minefield. Seems like StormQuake maybe just using some of these ults because they want to swap off.
Yeah, I think so. FaZe looks like he pulse bombed himself there while also grabbing the kill onto Dins, who will also swap over to the Zenyatta. But this is a really nice position actually for Gen.G. They have a massive ult advantage. They have the minefield set up again here. Umte can drop that off, and they have EMP ready. It's going to take StormQuake actually quite a while to get to a point where they're efficient in ults. So running the Winston instead of the Rhine because of the high ground setup here with the Widowmaker. So I like that choice for Kaiser. So they have that extra dive potential to get that final kill. Or sorry, get the killing blow. Perhaps the first kill onto the Widow.
Everyone grouped up, just going to be pushing out. EMP instantly here from Stalker. He goes low, but kills will be there for Gen.G as they look for a team wipe effectively.
They get to keep the minefield as well. Umte was definitely not going to use it there.
Sad pile driver.
Sad pile driver, but very successful grapple around the side where everyone was caught and EMP'd and very low on health. StormQuake builds very little ult charge with that attack. So you will see Agnes swapping over now. They're going to look to match the composition and build up on ultimates.
Push coming through. Ooh. Okay, still gets the pile driver, popping him up. Minefield's going to be dropped in.
Wasn't the one he wanted.
No. He's trying to displace people as much as he possibly can by swinging around like a madman.
Yeah, it worked out okay. He still did his job in the end.
Look forward inside. Adaptive shield does come up. Weaken a couple of the tanks here on the side of StormQuake. Sluja nearly going down. Trying to finish him off. Stalker will be able to find the kills. The sound barrier gets committed here from Gen.G. Lastro in the back, hounded down by 3 members, does not stand a chance. Will be taken out, and StormQuake suddenly looking a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah, Kaiser swaps over to the Rhine now that there's no threat at range of a Widowmaker. For example, the Sombra also gone here, so it makes a lot more sense. They're going to have the grab, but Dins has the answering trance. So I think this might actually just be a hold here for Gen.G. Like, they've got the right setup. They have soon to have another minefield here. It's going to be basic free.
Another pile driver coming in, minefield ready to go. Pushes his way into the back, drops it inside the motel rather than on the street. Maybe a little bit questionable as far as the placement's concerned. Either way, Last over the Transcendence helps to take down those mines. He pushes forward, loses out on the shield, pin comes down. Oh, he's so very low, but he's so slippery at the same time. Grab, however, will be locking him in. The bomb up over the top, looking for the picks, and FaZe will be able to find 2. Empty and Stalker both going down. Gen.G still fighting. Agnes gets rid of Lastro, Shubil back into the mech. Just swinging away, sound barrier going to be out from Amy. Only catches onto himself, however. No one else going to be shielded up. Good armor back there. Will keep Dins alive. FaZe has to go off the side of the map, and StormQuake still held at bay now with just 20 seconds remaining.
That was a really poor grab from Proper, unfortunately. I think that bigger bang, even though it got 2 kills, is going to be how StormQuake remembers potentially losing this map, dropping it just unfortunately so late, and now they don't have that tool anymore to push through. Stalker's got his grab, and he's got the high ground controlled. He can't die here, though.
He needs to stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting tagged up quite a bit. You want to go for the Superman grab. Have to see pushing up onto the car. Agnes going to be taken down as Lastro tries to open things around. Not going to be doing a whole lot. Grab comes through, locks up two, looking to finish them off. Transcendence, however, is here from Lastro. Saves them for the moment. Pop out on the Shoebill's mech. See, will get taken down. Island form not going to be able to survive. Lastro snipes one. Now he's going to be looking for levels. A little too elusive there on the Lucio, but they can finally start moving the cart forward. Umte dashing his way through, will be taken down. StormQuake maybe can make this desperate run here in OT to be.
Lastro did an insane amount of damage in that fight. He did not have the trance ready at the beginning of the fight, but did so much that he was able to come and save everyone against the minefield, and then basically got the rest of the kills right after his trance expired. So coming up big here on the defense, Gen.G are going to be hard-pressed to even touch the cart. They do spill out here against the Shatter.
Drop their way down. Good bubbles there from the Zarya. However, they still find a lockup in onto Dins, but maybe that's an overstep from Kaiser. Goes forward to try to get the pin. Transcendence comes in. Dins managing to stay alive at levels. Will be taken down as Lastro finds another kill and gets closer.
70%.
Now Agnes going to be eliminated as well. 80+%. Lastro doing so much damage in these fights. The Transcendence going to be online as they push into B.
He is insane. I mean, he's got another one. Amy's got Sound Barrier. What looked like the end of StormQuake with a really late-timed grab from Proper. The failed fight there. Gen.G had all the answers. Lastro brings it back. Literally carries them. And now they've got double sport ultimates. They may finish this map yet. It is absolutely not over anymore.
Second lease on life. High energy here from Proper. Grab nearly online. Oh, the Shatter going to be massive here. Catches Drake Kaiser, however, stunned up for the moment, but will be saved. Lastro again with that Transcendence. Pops it. Everybody topped up. 4 quick kills, looking for 5. Now 6 as Shoebill will be taken out.
I'm going to go as far as to say I think Lastro's going to have another chance for this map's over.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, the guy is just insane on the damage output here.
He might have one before Dens does.
Oh, I don't know if they're going to track where Proper is right now.
Oh, up over the top.
He shows himself.
Yeah, okay, so they do know. They are aware. Shatter coming down from Umte, not sure how many people have caught. Either way, the bubble's going to be coming through. Graviton Surge in onto the card. Bomb getting dropped in face. Is going to find a double stalker, and Umte taken down. Also got the pop out of the Shoebill's mech. Now the Plyler Form Diva going to be taken out. Dunce around the back. Does have that Transcendence online, but it's going to have to use it just to contest the cart, stop it from inching forward. Amy finds the kill there on the levels. They're just trying to boop him away. He'll rejoin with the rest of his squad. Umte charging forward, knocked up into the air. You would have thought there was a Doomfist in this game right now. Instantly gets killed shortly after. Dunce taken down as Proper finds the double. Everybody from the side of Gen.G going to be eliminated. There is a Doomfist now, level swapping over, but doesn't stand a chance. The push comes through. Completion here on Route 66 by StormQuake in overtime.
Lastro absolutely saving him. He doesn't get the last grab that I was alluding to. They're only about 75% of the way there, with FaZe stealing the show with that self-destruct. Kaiser had the great follow-up Shatter there after the grab to make sure that that explosion, that self-destruct was going to connect. And Gen.G were so close from creative May holds there to I mean, just straight up choking StormQuake out when they had the later hero swaps. Had the even answering Widow there for quite some time. It was a great hold for a while, until it wasn't, until Lastro came up and got that trance, got all those kills.
Yeah.
So Gen.G needs to finish this map to have the potential to even see one map win here on their final series.
It was very much the old Scara adage, which is, you know, up until they lose, they're winning.
Yeah.
StormQuake, not missing a beat. Lastro had it always.
Lastro has just been so good all season, and it's crazy because he was on a pretty weak team. You know, he was on WGS in the past and never really got noticed as his Zen. And we talked about his Zen quite a bit with other players that he played with, Hailey and very briefly Genie, right, on the Zenyatta, but he's kind of been the strong anchor for the squad, and it's crazy because he doesn't die. You know, a lot of players like Undyne, they do a ton of damage too, they build fast trances, but they die, you know, doing so, whereas Lastro, like, he just doesn't die. He's a safe Zen who gets long-range damage done. It's crazy. Look at where he is right now up on that back pillar.
Push up the train car here. Taking their time, inching their way out. Now have to try to gain control. Good tag onto Sugen, takes him low, but will need time to back up. As they try to get this card moving. Ooh, a lot of damage there on the Shoe Bell. Still loses the Mac. It's a bit too late on that burst healing. Not enough to keep him alive. Kaiser will be taken down, however. Good start for Gen.G with the very obviously faster recalls or respawns. Now they push forward. Pick up a lot of kills. Lastro taken down here. And StormQuake will, they will have time to recontest. But that forward position not working out with it for them.
Nope, certainly not. Nice little start here for Gen.G, pretty similar to StormQuake's start in terms of time bank and pushing power. The bigger story here is that Lastro is halving distance in terms of Transcendence. That's pretty rare in this series so far, so he's going to have the ability to really stick to this card, whereas StormQuake's going to have the hard engage without it.
Push over to the side there, Mega Pack going to be grabbed by FaZe to try to stay alive. Kaiser taken down, good push forward. The aggression from Update right now. Very necessary and is working out. Stalker as well. Extremely high energy constantly on this Zarya. Cleans them up, gets that final hit there onto Amy. So A gonna be grabbed. Gen.G looking quite good on Route 66, but yeah, it's just unfortunate. They try to go for so many other things other than matching the 3-3, where now it's working out.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's too late for playoffs. Round of 8's gone.
Yeah, it's gone, man. Never gonna get it back. Not until next season, potentially. This Trance coming out first, secures A, and now they can look for a hard engage in the choke if StormQuake comes out to meet them. They're just going to slowly push this through for now. All 6 on the cart. Baiting out Lastro's Trance is what they want to do, but it's going to be a tall ask at this point.
Oh, Shatter coming down from Kaiser. Not going to find too much.
Okay, they get it.
In. Lastro, yeah, pushing forward. Grab will be thrown in. Bomb up over the top. It's taken down at the start. FaZe gets a triple for StormQuake to go ahead and grab control of the cart right at the choke.
Yeah, unfortunately the grab was better for proper and faster. StormQuake, even though they used the trance, they capitalized on it. It was baited early, then they were able to convert what was originally a defensive trance into an aggressive one, get proper in there, make that grab happen. Very expensive in terms of ults, but it's worth it, because now they control the choke.
Shatter coming down. Okay. Not gonna few of them on their rears, but kill's not going to be there yet. Sound barrier out from Amy, helping to keep them alive for a little bit longer. Kaiser, however, will eventually crumble under the pressure being applied. It's coming up with one there onto Sugen. 2-0 so far, now with 3 as Lastro is eliminated. They get rid of that Zen. They should know that the fight is going to be won. They can finally advance the card. They have to get the cleanup here. FaZe gets taken down.
Yep. Keeps rolling. StormQuake did not, they had that choke right controlled after that fight, but they did not get the opportunity to use the Shatter because Umte came in and locked them down first. So it's just rolling around this corner. Gen.G, if they win this next fight, are really on track to have a great time bank and completion. StormQuake's regrouped. We're going to see the speed boost off the high ground.
Shatter instantly on the drop here from Kaiser. Raph going to be coming out. Proper locking him up. Good pin there. Finds Agnes. Kaiser follows up for the double. Now Umte gone. StormQuake will be able to grab control again.
Shubel!
Oh no! He didn't have his jets up.
Nope. Certainly did not. FaZe getting that kill feed tag in there with the thruster kill on the knockoff there, and StormQuake will control this choke for now.
Just let him go.
Let him go. Send him on his way.
Long live the king. Throws him off the edge.
Those stagger kills for this one. Yeah. Definitely got Mufasa, but high ground control right now for Gen.G. They don't have the grab. If they get a few more right clicks here, there's no answering support ults.
Ooh, okay, Shatter from Kaiser went up the staircase, I believe, not to the side. Sound barriers out from Gen.G, however. So it would have been the same.
This is their fight.
You would think. Kaiser going to be taken down. Agnes coming up with the kill. Shubil popping the self-destruct, not going to find any picks, but makes it back into the back, and the charge forward comes in. Gen.G looking good as they clean things up. Lastar will be pinned and killed off here at the finish. The cart should be able to advance very close, if not into B.
Yeah, this is actually going to be really close, though, because I think StormQuake, with both their support ults, I think they should be able to touch onto this. And I also think they should, because Gen.G just used both support ultimates and they know it. So even if Lastro has to speed run his way in here to touch with the trance, I still think it's worth it. I just can't get here in time though.
No. We'll just be shy of 3 minutes here on the clock. StormQuake, can they hold this off? Take it straight up, or do they have to play through some extra rounds? Knock down there, Sugen falling low. Transcendence is out from Lastro. Dance tries to get closer to his own 60% moving upward. He's on the high ground here, proper zapping away. High energy again, right click's coming down, looking to break somebody, looking to get some eliminations, but so far unable to do so. Mark continues to inch forward, StormQuake goes back in. Kaiser, very low in HP. Not getting finished off, however, picks up a pack, rejoins here with the rest of his squad.
Shatter's ready.
In the front, Shatter gonna be coming down, locks up Shubil. Transcendence is in from Duns. Maybe not the most necessary ultimate here at the same time, but still keeping them all topped up. Phase drops a bomb, this time not gonna find any pickoffs, has been very consistent with those so far today.
He certainly has.
And Agnes now gone down, that's gonna be the shove forward. StormQuake, they work their way out of the garage back towards the spawn of Gen.G. Get those cleanup kills, now they can stabilize.
With Kaiser's charge in there, he's able to chase and build 90% of another Shatter. Really smart, intelligent play by him to charge like that, because that's a charge that's not designed to get a pin kill. That's a charge knowing I've already won this team fight. How much ult charge can I build on their retreat from left clicks? 95 is the total he gets after that fire strike, and he's ready for another Shatter.
Transcendence ready to go from Lastro as well. Grab into the back, locking him up. Sound barriers in from Gen.G. Shatter coming down, finds 3. Looking for the pin. Kaiser will be stunned up. Not going to be able to find it now. Instead, counter pin comes through the sound barrier, trying to keep him alive. Oh, almost makes it over to the mini pack. Still likely would not have been enough to keep him alive and in the fight. Still will be Gen.G trying to push forward, but Lastro picks up another double kill.
He's saving him.
Agnes both taken down. He will be focused. Levels comes up with a kill here. Finishing off the enemy Zen. Cart will start to inch forward. 48 seconds left on the clock.
Lastro just buying so much time here, keeping their chances alive, and then Amy delays the cart push. But there's going to be a trance ready here for Dins. That could be what gets them this completion here, as StormQuake sets up for one last attempt to hold. Kaiser's not going to have the Shatter this time.
Stay close. Fire strike going to be denied by the defense matrix here. Bay's taking that one away. Rallies out from both teams. Just getting armored up. Tay pushing forward. Finally has that Shatter online. Bomb into the back. As he turns the shield, Kaiser shattered from the flank. The pin not going to find anything, but it might not matter because Stalker is picking up kills left and right. A double over to him so far. The cart is a few meters away. Umte still swinging away. Nearly to that next Shatter. Hit is good. Gets rid of Sulgen. The fire strike finds Lastro. Umte on fire right here at the finish. Face up in the air. Bomb coming down. Graviton surges out from both sides. And it is going to be a slaughter here in favor of Gen.G. Will be able to get the completion on Route 66. Both teams double overtime.
Yep, a minute apiece here. It's going to be all they've got, and it's going to be a very short push. This is the kind of situation where something like the Mei strategy that they used on A might actually be incredibly effective.
Yeah.
You couldn't have known that this was going to be the scenario at the end, but had they not used that, had they saved it here for this moment, that might have actually been a strat that wins them the map. Really nice plays by Gen.G until the end, and I think the biggest story of this fourth map is that these are pro gamers who have lost playoffs, have lost everything this season, had a rough night. I mean, one of their roughest nights, because you know they have Umte on the roster. They came in with a really technical set of strategies prepared, but the execution was weak. And yet still they're able to finish the map. Still they're able to be resilient in their final moments. In a fourth map that means, I mean, literally nothing for them outside of a small amount of prize money, map win prize money, which will be split 7 ways. So, I mean, we're talking about a very small amount. But yet they are able to give it their all. And I think that is what this final map is really about. They could still win it right now. Looking for the left side containers set up here, at least to start. Not heavily committing, or at the bottom of the container.
Yeah, Umte just going to be out in the open. The rest of the team now going to be joining in. Space pushes up onto the high ground. Sending those rockets in. Stun up Sugen. Will be taken down.
That's big.
He finds the hit. Kaiser going low, will be finished off here as Agnes gets a double. Very good start for Gen.G. Only 35 seconds remaining.
Well, I mean, if they can just do it one more time, set up one more shield bash, that's going to be the end of this push. The cart has not moved an inch or centimeter if you're from Europe, you know.
Push back, up, they taken down, though, oversteps a bit. Kaiser, however, will be eliminated as well as Dins evens the score. Lastro, however, he's still safe. Gets rid of Dins. Gen now going to be eliminated. Proper finding Stalker. Proper tagged up. Gen.G going to be rushing back, trying to get this contest. A couple seconds remaining. They're still sitting here onto the cart. Remaining members will go ahead, push their way back. Kaiser charges forward, looking for a pin, unable to find one.
It's crazy how many of these hits, when you watch Lastro's first-person view, are headshots, in fact, and it looks like he's just casually tossing the orbs out, but he knows the, you know, the angle, the elevation to hold that crosshair so well to hit every headshot. All right, Proper can look for a big grab here to keep this cart rolling.
It could be right up on top here behind that rock, perhaps.
No support ults to counter him. He doesn't know that, though.
He's up on top, building up that energy. Shubil going low, sees that he's out of position. We'll go ahead, dropping the grab bomb up top. FaZe looking for the pickoffs. The shield is good from Update. Keeps him alive, but levels will go down since a little bit too late with the transcendence to try to keep that Lucio in the fight. Now it's going to be sound barrier in from Amy, responding grab from Stalker. Guys are taking a lot of damage with the transcendence from Lastro. Keeps him topped up, finds a kill onto the enemy Zarya with the shatter itself. The fire strike is great. Takes down the Zenyatta, gets the swing onto the Baby Diva. That's going to be the team wipe coming through, and StormQuake will keep advancing with OT running.
And they built a ton of ult charge for Proper as well in that longer fight. Their support ultimates came out later, so he was able to just stay healed up forever, basically. That's the, you know, support ult chicken we've been talking about all group stage long. They win that one, and they're going to get this push through to A. Man. This contest could go ugly.
Still in OT, but yeah, Gen.G, they don't want to go for it. They want to wait for the doors to open, fight them here in the outside.
Had they been wiped there, I mean, that would have been halfway to B for free.
Been quite a bit of distance. Shatter coming down, not going to find anything bubble through there. Saving, I believe, FaZe. So ult going to be wasted. StormQuake going to keep trying to make things move forward here. Grab in 100 energy. Is beam down levels. Take him out with the help of the swings here from Kaiser. Takes a little bit of damage here in the front line. Shatter going to be ready to go, but he's not going to have to use it yet. Pushed forward aggressively from Stalker. Will just result in his death.
I mean, I get the idea for Gen.G. They want to just shove them off the cart for 1 second because that's all it'll take. But when the fight is lost, the fight is lost. I mean, they bled over another half of a grab to Proper here. Everyone's holding armor. When the fight is over, you got to back off and regroup, or you're just going to keep giving StormQuake this steamroll.
Look how
ult
far
charge.
forward Proper is right now.
Yeah, because he knows he's so close to a grab. It's absolutely worth it with the late respawns coming through for Gen.G. He builds 12 more %.
Shatter in from Kaiser, not going to find anything. Shield was up, good on him to block that. Now the grab coming through, bomb up into the air. Shubil looking to shut down this push. It's a pick off onto Amy, but Stalker's lost in the process. Now Imtake gone. Kaiser with a fire strike takes him out. FaZe knocked out of the mech, but dumps that self-destruct, makes it back through safely. Kaiser overextending a bit. Proper's still going to be here, so has that grab online. Shubil down to half. They can't get off the cart. They almost lose it right there. Transcendence out from Dins, buying a little bit more time. Now sound barrier online. Levels trying to drop. I ripped my headset off my face, actually. Tries to drop in the sound barrier, but gets killed in midair as I try to stand up out of my seat, leaping. I mean, my foot catches the wire, and the headset comes off.
He fails.
Apologies.
StormQuake, you know, like the sound that came out of your headset for a moment, is just exploding, right? You know, I mean, they are gonna, it looks like, push this all the way to the end. At least this time, Gen.G didn't bleed over another grab to Proper, but he's flanking. He's got, you know, 50 energy. He's looking for more. He's not going to find it here, but just maximizing ult charge like crazy.
Shatter coming down. They hand the bash down to Kaiser. Pin comes through. They will be able to kill him off. StormQuake, can they keep this going? Lastro finds one, an answer onto the Rhine. FaZe going low. They try to top him back up so he can play into the front. The Transcendence is going to be good. Lastro gets it up. Pushes forward. Knockout on a Shubil's mech.
Proper's got grab.
They're looking pretty darn good here for the moment to try to keep things moving. Proper looking to rejoin with his squad. Still is armored up. Getting those right clicks, getting those, that beam in on the Dins takes him down. Now going to be looking for Shubil. Pops him out of the mech, no problem. Proper is just throwing the team on his back right now.
I mean, the other thing too is he's just been healed up so much by Lastro and Zilligan, so you know, he's so difficult to kill, and Lastro just keeps having these trances, then Proper walks up with full energy, he's immortal, and he builds another grab. Now they don't know where he is, so guess what?
Grab in from behind, locking him up, bomb in from FaZe, looking for a pick off, but will not be able to find one. Stalker going low. And much he'll be taken down. StormQuake again going to be operating without their main tank. Now Proper burned out. He gets shifted and routed away onto the flank side. FaZe pushing into the back, beams down. Stalker is sitting here with 100 energy. Gen.G maybe looking good to try to hold this one off the OT. They are able to push them off the cart for the moment. The OT bar plummets. But, I mean, StormQuake in overtime for the longest time.
Yeah, and
they make it all the way just barely short of the finish.
And this is because Gen.G just kept feeding ult charge over to those members of StormQuake that mattered most. Lastro, obviously, and Proper are the two that gained the most from this each and every time. They just kept sticking to the cart. And I think at this point, Gen.G just got a little bit flustered because when you've lost two members, you're 4v6, you're not magically just gonna knock them off the cart for 2 seconds and the overtime is just going to go away. It's tough to run away in those fights because maybe in a miracle situation you 4v6 and you win. It can happen. It certainly could. You get a crazy charge off of Umte and then suddenly it's very quickly a 4v5 and then you focus fire correctly. But when it doesn't work, Proper walks away from every fight with, you know, he's like, oh, 3 or 4 right clicks, I'm back to another grab, and you just used your support ultimates to contest and failed, so guess what, I'm gonna have it. As those support ults aren't building in those moments where you're just kind of slamming into the cart. It's gonna have to be I mean, an insane push here for Gen.G. They're gonna have a similar level of success here.
Yep.
In order to win this map.
Minute on the clock again. They did have a very good start to their push the first time out. See StormQuake not willing to give up that much free space. They know that if they lose the fight at the beginning, right up in front, it will cost them. So want to play back a little bit safer. Looking for that pin. Kaiser going to go low. And able to find the first kill. Fire strike to the face does finish him off.
This is already a good start here for Gen.G. There's going to be a contest potential here for StormQuake on A, though. Not if they get staggered like this. I mean, this is the crazy chase.
Yeah, great chase forward.
Only one member on the cart, but that's enough to keep it rolling around the corner. And then StormQuake going to need that speed boost. It's really unfortunate Amy's the last person to die, so they're not going to have a proper contest here with that speed boost coming in so late to get onto this cart. This may just be a free A. They're going to try to roll through.
Oh, yeah, pushing their way out. Kaiser not going to find the pin, so Gen melted down. Now the Rhine's going to be going down as well as FaZe's mech popped out. And it'll just be cleanup duty here. Gen.G's going to be padding up those ult charges as much as humanly possible as they do roll into A, but have to stay glued to the card.
Yep, let's see how this differs for StormQuake on the defense. If they continue to fight lost battles, or if they decide to back away. They have that ult lead in terms of the grab, but that's about it. So this next fight is going to be favorable for Gen.G, obviously. So we do see StormQuake's going to try to get up on this high ground with Lastro, finish off any targets he can find at range.
Shatter, looking for the hit, finds 2 in the back. Still no kills to be found yet, though. Transcendence out from Lastro, keeping everybody topped up as they try to turn the fight around. Graviton Surge going to be coming through, bomb straight in on top of him. Kaiser going to be eliminated. That's going to be the knockout on the FaZe's mech. And a 1 fight again here for Gen.G. A lot of ultimates committed, however. Rally nearly online in the sound barrier. Is that going to be enough for them to withstand 4, nearly 5 readied ultimates that StormQuake has?
That's the big question. The sound barrier alone is very likely not going to be enough. They're going to need to have a really nice setup for Umte's Shatter. You know, he's only 56% of the way there, but he's going to need to build it during that sound barrier, you'd have to think. Plus grab a big fire strike as everyone spills out for StormQuake. Let's see, does he get it? Not really. Okay, so this is a scary moment here. This could end everything.
Sees the D.Va over onto the side, still manages to pin that. Straight into the cart, bomb into the back. FaZe finds levels, Umte gone. Sound barrier now in just to really seal the deal. StormQuake looking to finish things off, will be able to do so, will be able to take this with a 4-0 in the end.
Yep, just playing a little bit more staggered, a little bit safer there on the defense, getting the better placement of the Diva Bomb back behind with Proper's Graviton Surge. And StormQuake walks away with a win in their final series with a 4-0 score. So definitely get to keep their third place spot in the group. Not contested, so our 4 teams are all decided. StormQuake and Chengdu Panthera will be the last 2 to join GC Busan Wave and Element Mystic here in Group B. For Gen.G, I don't know if we're going to see the same roster persist going into future seasons, but I think we're going to see obviously a more coordinated squad moving forward. This team was put together last hour here. Gen.G, you know, did recruits for a long time for this academy team they announced a while back. They got a late pickup on Umte, but even he wasn't enough to save them in the end. He was only able to take down Meta Athena. I have to, you know, speak frankly and say that I don't think Gen.G played to their strengths tonight. You know, outside of round 1 of Lijiang and then there at the end on Route 66.
Yep.
They tried to, I don't want to say cheese because I don't think that's fair. They tried to run different strategies. They tried to trip StormQuake up. They tried to do something instead of mirroring. They wanted to try to kind of one-up them in terms of strategical depth. But the execution of that was not good enough, and they're going to find themselves in the next season that we have, which will, you know, probably be called 2019 Season 1, not Season 4, but they'll probably find themselves there, the majority of this roster, because they're an academy team.
Sure.
But they're not going to be in that playoffs. They're not getting a chance to make that run that you were talking about, where O2-esque going to the round of 8, and who knows what could happen.
No, they are not. Their road ends here today, the final week of the group stage, so nothing more to do until that season starts, and we don't know when that's going to be yet, sometime in 2019. We got to get through this first, and this doesn't even end until 2019.
Yeah, so it's rough. It's a rough final map to lose like that too, because they had that heroic finish there on their attack. You know, we had this overtime, but StormQuake got it basically all the way to the end there.
Yeah.